it's time. I'm going to put it up on the workbench. We have some repairs we got to do to it, and I'm going to take you along with me and then give you an update on how this Ryobi is doing after about a year. All right, come on down here. All right, well, you're here for a repair, but before I do that, I think I owe it to you for a bit of an update on this Ryobi 40-volt lawnmower that I have. We got it back in almost a year ago, and I did a review on it in September of 2020. So that review, I'll put a link below, you can go take a look at it, and those were my thoughts after a couple of months of use. And I would say by and large I will stick by those recommendations. So I'm going to give it a rating on a scale from 1 to 10. I'd give it. There are some things about this though that wasn't evident at the time. I don't eat cheeseburgers, and it's evident now because I've used it a lot. I use it every week. There was a few weeks during the winter time where we had snowpocalypse out here, and didn't need to mow and all that. But, I have used it a lot, and I will say exclusively since October of last year. That's right. I have not been in a mowing capacity. I have not been on my sit-down mower since. I've started up that mower, and I've got a video on how I got the thing started after a period of downtime. But I've been just mowing my quarter-acre backyard with this thing just to really put it through its paces. But the geometry of this thing is such that you have. Can you see that there? Yeah, you can. There are two positions for this handle, and one of them is too high for me, and I end up pushing down into the ground rather than pushing forward. And then when I go to the lower position, I end up popping a wheelie and taking the blades off the lawn. It's a challenge. It really is. But it does the job in the areas that I want it to. And doggone it, I'm just stubborn. I'm going to make it work for the entire yard. And I do. Not without some expletives.
Are you sure it isn't time for a colorful metaphor?
But today's repair is really to the handle system. Okay? If you can see how much movement there is right there, that's because this bracket that mounts the whole handle system to the chassis has come loose. And this isn't the first time. It's almost now, every time I use it, it now comes loose. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my Torx wrench, because that's what it is. Is it a Torx? Yeah, it's a Torx wrench, and I believe it's a number 20. So if you have the Ryobi brushless 20-inch 40-volt, this particular model, and I'll put the specs in the description, you're going to need to probably, if you don't already have one, get yourself a T20 wrench. Now I have a multi here. It happens to have a T20, but that's what goes in there to tighten that baby down. But it keeps coming undone. So I'm going to Loctite it. Okay, blue Loctite. And that should hold it, I would hope, because I use this on my firearms when I'm mounting the scope and doing all those kinds of things, so it doesn't rattle loose. So I'm hoping this will work. We'll see. So that is probably, well, that is probably the biggest repair that is constantly happening, is this bracket. So I'm just gonna take a moment, and then we're gonna repair it, and then we're gonna talk about a couple of other things. Use our Amazon link down below. When you do, it helps us out and it doesn't cost you a penny more. And after using the link, save it to your bookmarks so you can have easy access to it in the future. Thank you. The first thing I'm going to do is lift up this handle and get it out of the way so that I have a clear view of everything that I need to do here. And you see how that thing is just kind of moving around? The whole bracket slides around. There are 3 screws on this side, and then on the other side 3 screws. I will pull this up, and we'll just do that for now. There you go. The next thing is, over here is the height adjustment. I'm going to ratchet that all the way up to 4 inches. It's down at 1.5 right now. I like to keep my lawn nice and short. This will be a little bit of a challenge on the table because usually I have to kind of manhandle it on the ground. Oh, well, there you go. All right, that wasn't bad. Okay, so it's all the way up, and as you can see, it exposes all 3 of these screws. Down in that lower position, this screw is hidden behind the wheel, and there's just no way to get at it. So let's go back to what we were doing. Now I'm going to hope this is going to be the first time I've ever taken this thing apart. That is, removed the screws. So I'm hoping there isn't a nut on the other side that just kind of falls through. I'm hoping. No, guess not. You know what? It's plastic in there. Oh my gosh. All right, so that's a strike. That really is a strike. I would have really preferred to have metal, that a metal screw was going to go into. Ryobi, if you're listening, and I'm gonna tag Ryobi. I want you to listen. Don't put this into plastic, please. I'm going to take my trusty Loctite. I'm going to put it on there. I don't think this is going to work very well because it's designed for metal, not for plastic. The screw, like I say, is metal, but yikes. That explains it there. The plastic is just shredding inside, and it's not good. So before I give it a nice tight torque, I'm gonna do all of them. Yeah, oh jeepers. I reach behind here with my finger and I can feel it's just a plastic plunger that this thing is going into. Yeah, you never want to mix materials. Plastics and metals, or even types of metals for that matter. Steel on aluminum is never a good idea. Copper on zinc is never a good idea. Yeah, see, and I'm having some cross thread issues. Okay, let's get this one out. Is there going to be a way that I can repair this so that it's, you know, metal on metal? Probably not. Am I in the way? I am. Yeah, just gonna put a little on there. Blue Loctite, because it can be removed. Red Loctite lacquers up really hard, and it's for more of a permanent installation. Okay, so I'm going to, because I always push forward, I'm going to lean this thing forward and give it a nice snug. Yeah, knowing that it's plastic now, what I don't want to do is wrench down too hard, and then I'll end up tearing up the plastic. Jeepers. Ryobi, please, engineers. Okay, I'm gonna flip this thing around. I'm not gonna bore you with the other side, but it's identical to this. I'm gonna fix the other side, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about the whole thing. Hey, you caught me while I was getting ready to make some dinner. But before I do that, gotta sharpen my knife. Got my trusty work sharp. Let's get down to it, shall we? go. Now I gotta go cut off the fat from my chicken. Hey, if you want a work sharp, use one of my links down below. Order yourself a work sharp. You can sharpen up all of your knives, including your kitchen knives. Very easy to use, very effective, and gets razor sharp. You might want to buy one. Use my link. It doesn't cost you any more, but it does help me out. Thank you. Oh my, this was so loose, I couldn't help but show you. And also, I need to correct myself. This is a T27. It's a T27 wrench. I think I might have said T20 before. My apologies. It's a T27. It's a big fat one. Wow. All right, let's get this off. I'll get this repaired and I'll be right back. Yeah, this one's really all chewed up. I think it's just a matter of time, folks. I hope this works. Gonna snug it down. Okay, secure. It's not moving around. I'll let the Loctite harden up a little. Hopefully it won't back out anymore. Okay, I'm gonna have to caveat all of this by saying, because it's gonna sound negative, but overall, I'm still using the thing. And part of it is because I'm stubborn, because I bought it. And the other part of it is, it does do the job. Could it do it better? Yes. And man, today was very eye-opening for me. The fact that they have metal screws with a metal plate, holding a metal plate onto a piece of plastic with no metal backing, and the screw is only screwing into plastic. What kind of engineering is that? I mean, I don't have a mechanical engineering degree. You know, I've done audio engineering. I know how to hook things together. But mechanical engineering, building something like this, I even know better than that. So it's metal into plastic. You never want to do that. You're going to ruin the plastic. And that's, I think, what is happening here. These metal screws are just backing out and tearing up the plastic that's underneath. I wish that would get fixed, or if there was a retrofit to fix this. And if somebody out there has some experience or has some ideas of how to maybe retrofit this, and it's mostly a solid clunk and chunk of plastic back there. It's not like it's open where I can put a plate and a bolt or something. Design engineering did not do a very good job. Secondly, the overall physics of when you push, which direction are you pushing it? If you've got some heavy lawn to mow, you're either going to push it down or you're going to pop a wheelie. And unacceptable. You know, the geometry is just wrong. That tells me that the engineers that built this probably never mowed a lawn in their life. And that's being kind of critical, but man, if they've ever mowed a lawn, they'd go, let's figure out a way with engineering to make the lawn easier to mow. Not just, well, engineering practices tell us to do this, so therefore let's just do that. And the customer, the user, the lawnmower guy, just gonna have to figure it out. Yeah, it's stupid. It is. So those are two things. And in reading some of the comments on that previous video, and you may want to go and look at some of those comments yourself, somebody had it for a short period of time and it just stopped working. As a matter of fact, I was talking about this with a friend of mine, and their friend who happened to be there chimed in and said, yeah, I have one of those electric lawnmowers like you're saying, and it quit. Well, come to find out, there are 5 switches on this thing. All of them, I should say 4 of the 5, are for safety reasons. And at the risk of sounding harsh, gosh, if you need that kind of safety to mow a lawn, maybe you should hire somebody to mow your lawn. There are 5 switches, 5 places where there are switches. There's up here, well, in this thing on the other side, there's a switch. So you have to have it in one of the positions for the handle for it to actually work. So there's a switch there. There's up here, and I'll come in a little bit closer so you can see. Up here, this lever which extends the rod, there's a switch here and there's a switch on the other side, so that if it's not fully off or tightened, it won't run, it won't start. So, and then there's this lever up here. I'll show you that. That's much like a gas-powered lawnmower. You got to squeeze down the lever with your hands and then start it up. And then in the middle, up there by the handle, there's a start switch. So that's 4 areas already. The only one that's really necessary is that start switch. If you want a safety, you put the, you can put the clamp down switch like on an electric mower, on a gas-powered mower. That's fine. That's one safety. That's all you need. But I just mentioned 3 safeties and 4 switches. The other safety is this stupid key, and it's not even a key. It's just a little thing that plugs in that has copper in it, copper lugs that complete a circuit. So it could be any one of those 5 switches going out, or something isn't aligned correctly and it's going to quit. There is another switch on here. It's for the lawn catcher, and it's a magnetic switch. When you put the lawn catching device in, the bracket in, it actually completes a circuit and lets you start it. That's a lot of switches, folks. The planned obsolescence into this thing, in my opinion, is very high. This thing has taken a beating, and it keeps going though for me right now, but I'll let you know if anything changes. The other design engineer flaw is this switch, no matter which position it's in, actually sticks out further than the tires. So if you skate by the fence and you hit this with the fence, it may go into the open position and shut the thing off, and you're standing there wondering why. It would be good if they flipped this around so that the switch was on the inside. Then it would be, all of this housing would be inside the tires, and it wouldn't hit into things as easily. You could see all the marks where it hit. I know, the solution is don't hit anything. I guess the only other negative thing is it is very lightweight. Now you may think that is a positive thing. And the only time that it's positive is when you have to pick it up and put it on your workbench to work on it, because at least it's lightweight and you can get it up here. If you suffer from back problems and things that you still may be able to mow the lawn but you can't lift, you're still going to have troubles with this, because it does weigh quite a few pounds, but it is lighter than a gas mower. It's mostly plastic, so you can get it up here. I guess that's a plus. The minus to that is, though, it's not heavy enough. You really do need weight to mow the lawn, because as I push this along, there are times where because my lawn is a little on the thick side, and I don't mean long, I mean even when it's short, it's kind of thick. It actually, the wheels won't turn. It'll actually I'm dragging it across the lawn. It's the best way I can put it. I'm just dragging it. If it had a little bit of weight, it would actually set down a little bit more, and you can mow the stupid lawn. That said, oh, and this thing, you know, raising it up and raising it down, for me, it's completely useless. I mow my lawn often enough that I just want it all the way down, because anything higher just means I got to come tomorrow and mow my lawn. No joke, I mowed the lawn the other day. Well, I mowed it today, and it wasn't quite as bad today, but a couple of days ago I mowed it, and where I started mowing, when I was all finished and got to the end, when I went back to where I started, I swear to you, the lawn had already grown about 1/4 of an inch. I could tell because it was kind of uneven. It was no longer even. So some growth occurred. So I do have to mow my lawn quite often, which may not be your case, but in my case, I just want it nice and short. And I don't want to mow every day because there's a lot here and it's hot. Anything else? Well, that's it. I just wanted to share that with you. I know I kind of went on and on and on, but a few of you have kind of asked more questions about this lawnmower, and I will stand by my original review. Okay, so go watch that one. Now that you have heard this, put the two together and you decide if you want to get one. I will put a link in case you do want one, because I still believe that if you have a small area that needs to be manicured often, this is really nice. And the reason why I like using this so much is because I don't have to worry about oil. I don't have to worry about gasoline. I just put in a battery, make sure it's charged, put in a battery, and go. Press the button, make sure everything is set up properly, and I go. And it cuts. I'll give it that. All right, guys, if you have any experience with this, or if you want to talk more about it, or you have other questions, down in the description, there'll be a link where you can go to shootingguy.com/contact us. You can just contact me directly. Or if you just want to do it openly in the comment section, just do it down there. We'll have some dialogue about this mower and the other mowers like it. Now, I don't have the other mowers, but I do have a neighbor who has this very same mower, the 40-volt 20-inch brushless, but it's self-propelled. And if you're interested and you let me know that you would like it, I'll go over to his place and we'll talk about his mower. We'll kind of get some examples of how that self-propelled one. Let me know. Don't forget, subscribe, share this video. That would be nice. You know, you may be helping somebody else out that I don't necessarily reach, and you can reach them. You'll be helping somebody. So please do that. Share it. All right. God bless you. God bless America. May America bless.